The Morning Show from your local news leader.
It's time for Friday Flicks, a movie everyone is talking about for all the wrong reasons, and a biopic about a charismatic thief are hitting the theaters this weekend.
So here to review what they call Don't Worry, Darling, and Bandit is film critic Chuck Koplinski. And Chuck, we've got to start with Darling.
Yeah, have you heard about everything that's going on?
Oh yeah, it's filling my timelines on Instagram,
Yes, all
Twitter.
the behind-the-scenes stuff. Did the director, Olivia Wilde, have an affair with Harry Styles?
Yikes.
Florence Pugh, the lead, was upset about this. Is it all true? Is it not? Well, that's what everyone's talking about. And it's a shame that no one's talking about the movie, because the movie is actually really, really good. This one's not really getting a fair shake from other critics, so I'm here to tell you exactly what's going on here. This has Florence Pugh as Alice, and there you see Harry Styles as Jack. They are married, and they are living the American dream in the 1950s. That's back where you partied with your friends, you drank a lot, you smoked. Everything was great. The husband would go off to work in the morning, and the wife would stay home, and she was just happy as a clam, vacuuming the carpet and scrubbing the tub and having dinner ready. When he comes home with a drink in her hand, everything is great. Until it's not. They live in a place called Victory, and he works for something called the Victory Project for a guy played by Chris Pine. We don't know what this project is, but we tend to find out that something bad is going on. And there are certain rules here at Victory, one of them being don't go out in the desert. It's surrounded by desert. Well, Alice, she finds that someone is in trouble out there, she thinks. She goes out in the desert and her troubles begin because she starts to realize that perhaps this paradise isn't paradise after all. And she begins to ask questions, which then runs her afoul of Mr. Pine there, who, well, he starts to focus in on her, and she realizes that everything isn't what it seems. I don't want to give away too much here because I have to say this movie really had me going for quite a while. And then we see that eggs have nothing in them. That's one of the first clues that something is amiss. This takes a direction that I had not anticipated, and I was genuinely surprised by what was happening in this movie. This is not so much about the 50s, but this veers into a science fiction area that I had not anticipated. Film had me guessing all the way till the end. And as you can see from the preview, it's gorgeous. I mean, the production design, the cars, the clothes, the houses, everything is just beautiful. It stumbles a bit at the end, but I have to say, Florence Pugh, of course, is incredible. She's just captivating in every film she does, and here you end up sympathizing with this poor woman. And what ends up happening, well, it has a lot of questions, but I was very, very happy with this. Again, it's much too bad that they're not talking about this movie. I hope people give it a chance because I've been thinking about it quite a bit since I saw it a couple weeks ago. So don't worry, darling. Give it a shot. I'd love to find out what people think.
And Florence Pugh, I gotta say, everything I've seen her in so far, she's just kind of getting out of the gate here, has been pretty great.
She's great. She's great.
Do you think Harry Styles delivered as a
yeah,
musician?
not an actor there.
Yeah, he's fine here, and he has a film called My Policeman, which is getting rave reviews up at the Toronto International Film Festival. We'll be talking about that in a couple weeks. But no, he's no flash in the pan. He knows what he's doing.
Okay.
All right, and is Bandit any good also?
Bandit is good, and I was surprised by this one as well because the lead in this, Josh Duhamel, I think that's how you say his name. I've heard Duhamel. He's from the Transformer films, big hunk of something there. Pam, by the way, is a big fan of his, not simply because of his acting style, but he plays this guy named Gilbert Galvin. Mr. Galvin was an American, and things weren't going too well for him in the 80s, so he decided to go north to Canada, and he realized that their banks aren't, well, they don't have the security that ours do, and he decided, well, I'm just going to start stealing from these banks. And he sets a record. He pulls off 59 consecutive bank robberies before he is caught. And there you see Mel Gibson as Tommy. He's a local mobster who Galvin approaches when he needs some financing for a bigger job involving jewelry. It's a fascinating story, and it's told with a lot of charm. There are times when Duhamel will turn and talk to us and break the fourth wall as the character and say, okay, this is what I was thinking here, and this is why I did this. And he, as I say, I've never been too impressed with him, but here he really is so charming. You end up rooting for this guy, even though he's breaking every rule along the way. I love these true stories that you've never heard about, and then you're like, wow, I can't believe this happened. And this is definitely one of them. Runs about 2 hours and 10 minutes, but it doesn't feel long, and that is really something. Yeah, he has these elaborate disguises he uses as he rips these places off. This one you can find in Bloomington. It's playing at the Marcus Theaters in Bloomington, or you can find it at home through video on demand, like this one too. So a good week finally.
All right, 2 for 2 there. And
Yep.
Don't Worry, Darling, was that theaters only?
That's theaters only.
All right, got to go to the actual show for that.
Gotta go.
All right, thanks so much for being here, Chuck.
You bet.